Yeah, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Umineko episode 5 playthrough. As you can probably hear by the music, it is going to be really quite sad today, I get the impression of. And yeah, yesterday, unexpectedly, because I was not expecting it whatsoever, I really didn't know that we were going to be going through something that it really did feel like a finale, genuinely. So yeah, after that we've got, obviously, the really, you know, I think if you can't say it's anything but an insurmountable cruelty, then I don't know what you can say. Yeah, everything regarding Natsuhi. I do wonder how this plot is going to end. And, right, so the thing is, Battle has totally lost on the game board, which I was not expecting whatsoever. Like, genuinely, I think you could say anything. You could say any bullshit conclusion, and I probably believe it more than what we have actually seen. My theory is that the battler of this game board is going to rise against Erika, and because of the fact that he's burned Castle's piece, he's going to take control and he's going to be able to, I don't know, somehow get the game board back. I don't know though, because obviously he's never, but to be fair, even though this is the case, he still had an immense amount of experience in actually denying witches and, you know, making it so that Kinzo seemed as if he was the culprit. So, I don't know, I think that's what's going to happen. But yeah, obviously, to know what the fuck's actually going to happen to continue the game board, we need to obviously learn about this. Yeah, I'm scared because yesterday with Burn and Lambda, that has got to be one of the most horrible things I think I've ever played. You know, it's just one of the things where you feel so disgusted that you are overwhelmed with how it is possible to be as disgusting as they are. And as how, you know, ridiculously cruel as well. I mean, God, it's going to be quite a read today, I feel. After being forced into... Yeah, seriously, yeah. After being forced into a marriage he hadn't wanted. But to be fair, I mean, at least it had got a good result. But still, like, even though the marriage had a good result, she still shouldn't have been forced into the marriage that she hadn't wanted to do whatsoever. Oh, this is the truth that Erika had, I think. Natsuhi developed a grudge against the Ushinomiya family and was filled with a desire for revenge. From the trial synopsis page... Oh my god. Wait, so... Yeah, that's actually really quite interesting. So this is like a summary in the Court of Illusions of what has actually happened during their trial, and this is the truth that has been proclaimed. Natsuhi, also hoping to take revenge for the financial submission her parents' family had been forced into by the Ushinomiya. Oh, Jesus. This is the worst thing. It seems so believable. Everybody believes it, so it has been made the truth, even though it is entirely consistent of lies. Just because the red truth ties into it doesn't mean it's not totally twisted. Schemes to capture the Ushinomiya family's wealth. Knowing that the wealth of the Ushinomiya family was in practical terms, under Kinzo's personal control. Oh, Jesus Christ. She initiated sexual relations and to curry favour with him and managed to ensnare him. What? Oh yeah, ironic that it's from a Burn Castle document. Oh my god, yeah, from the Burn Castle docs, page 682. 682, which... What's on the other pages? To curry favour with Kinzo. Natsuhi repeatedly imitated Beatrice, the witch of Kinzo's delusions, and engaged in sexual acts. That is an interesting theory. Kinzo saw his long-lost mistress in Natsuhi and was easily... Yeah, that's interesting. Furthermore, by chance, he was sometimes witnessed in this guise by the servants, and this became part of the foundation for the legend of the witch. Interesting. Yeah, really trying to make it seem as secure and valid and reliable as possible. Yeah, from the trial synopsis, page 8, from the presented evidence, part 17, from Berncastle's docs, page 802. However, late at night on October 4th, 1986, Ushinomiya Batora discovered the hidden gold. The relatives were in an uproar and decided that the battler should succeed their headship, so Natsuhi planned the crime. She murdered the children in the so-called cousin room and tried to frame Battler for the crime. Yeah, it is interesting, that. Furthermore, Genji was murdered for opposing this scheme. Yeah, later Hideyoshi was also murdered. I wonder what this is going to be said about Hideyoshi's murders. Yeah, ironic that nothing was said. Yeah, from this point on, she displayed the strong intent to indiscriminately murder all those involved. Yeah, from the trial synopsis, page 27. From supplemental materials B, page 61. From the Bernkastle docs, page 1103. Jesus Christ. Bernkastle either has really, really big handwriting, or or maybe there is just a lot that she has written. The only thing is there are so many documents, though. That is the thing I'm scared about. Who the hell are the other victims? Yeah, the following outlines the details of the crime. Midnight, October 4th, 1986. Natsuhi decided to commit the crime. She asked Genji to assist her, but was refused. Yeah, so she murdered him. My theory was that Genji actually was murdered because of the fact that he could have some sort of means of exposing the victim. She then murdered her husband Kraus in his own room. I think Kraus did actually die. Jesus Christ. From the GC Internal Docs, General Affairs 809, 9974. God, from Bernkastle Docs, page 1105. Supplemental Materials S, page 8. Trial Synopsis, page 40. That is interesting. I really do wonder if these documents here are Delano's documents, and these two as well. I wonder. It is a really interesting theory, this. Yeah, that is interesting. Oh, what's this? Afterwards, she went to the so-called cousin room on the second floor of the guest house. Waited for Rosa to join the rest. How did she necessarily know that Rosa was going to join the rest, though? Where's that explained? Yeah, waited for Rosa to join the rest and killed George, Jessica, Maria, and Rosa. Yeah. She damaged the necks of the corpses. Yeah. Afterwards, because there were people in the lounge on the first floor, she waited in an empty room on the second floor. Yeah. She hid in this empty room until the people in the lounge dispersed and went to bed. Yeah, that's reasonable. I think this could actually be a really quite reasonable theory of what has happened with the true culprit, though, genuinely. If they were in the family conference, which I think is a little bit more likely, they probably just found some sort of excuse to slip out of the family conference. Or maybe there were really strict matters that needed to be talked about, so, you know, obviously they could slip out because the family didn't want them there, and then they maybe went and did this. I don't know, though. It is really quite odd. Yeah, so when they actually dispersed, then they could have gone to wherever they were. The people in the lounge dispersed just after 3 AM. Yeah, Natsuhi left the empty room and escaped from the guest house. She returned to her personal room when she met up with Kinzo, who had been hiding there. She stayed there until morning. That is interesting. That would obviously fully explain the truth regarding, you know, Erika's truth fully explains the inconsistencies within whether he has actually been in the study or not to begin with. Kinzo left the room early next morning and concealed himself somewhere near the guest house. Yeah, that is interesting. Where? Yeah, Kinzo left the room early next morning. 9,974. Jesus Christ. How many are there, I wonder? Afterwards, Kinzo saw his chance and carried off the corpses of the 6 victims one by one. And yeah, that is interesting, hiding them. That is reasonable, yeah. Unfortunately, these hidden corpses had not been found. Yeah. Yeah, it is actually really quite odd. If you think of the human culprit, where have the hidden corpses actually gone? I mean, they can't have been in the boiler room because of the fact that there was no smell emanating from there. But at the same time, if I was to pinpoint a location, I would either think the boiler room or maybe some sort of hidden place in the forest. Because, let's be honest, in any Umineko episode, when have we ever seen people check the forest? I mean, obviously that isn't something for the killer to know, the fact that they haven't consistently checked the forest. But, like, it's such a low chance that people will actually look there because of the fact that they're scared about the Golden Witch conspiracy that, you know, it's a perfect place to hide the corpses. So that could be reasonable. I wonder how you get them there, though. That's my question. Well, to be fair, nobody can see the corpses. Just, I don't know, dismember them. Oh, blood, though. Yeah, that's a bit tricky. Well, you could, in theory, roast the blood off, and if nobody sees you, then you could do it. But, I don't know, I think that's ridiculous. But to be fair, I'm just thinking of that because they may, in theory, be a little less heavy if you do that. Do proper Nennar style. God, isn't it horrible to think that, you know, this is the dirty truth. She's, you know, she's been framed as a mistress, a murderer, somebody who literally killed her husband. You know, all of the honour she had has just been completely mocked and it has been completely turned around as well. That's a horrible thing. I mean, it's just, you know, it's just interesting how a truth can ruin an entire person's life. And if somebody bends the truth to their own liking and everyone believes it, then it is the truth. It's basically as powerful as what the real truth would be. If anything, it's even more powerful than the real truth. Natsuhi, who had failed in her scheme to cast suspicion on Battler, yeah, changed her plan to include the murder of all present. Oh, that's interesting. God, this song is so sad. They did such a brilliant job with it. Genuinely, it's perfect. That means everybody is actually going to be killed. Predicting that one of those present would eventually want to take a rest in a private room. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So you're totally taking out of context the fact that she did objectively go in one of the closets. Oh my god. Predicting that one of those present would eventually want to take a rest in a private room. Natsuhi concealed herself inside a closet in one of the guest rooms. God, yeah, at about 1 PM. She murdered Hideyoshi after he entered that room. Oh, right, yeah, fair, yeah. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Fuck's sake. At about 1 PM, she murdered Hideyoshi after he entered that room. Interesting that Burn Castle has no documents on this, by the way. From the time the others became aware of the incident to the time they carried Hideyoshi's corpse out, Natsuhi once again concealed herself in the What? Really? Furthermore, as proof of this, a button from Natsuhi's clothes was found in the closet. Yeah, that is actually really quite interesting. So, is it the same closet though? I mean... yeah, that is actually really quite interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. But the only thing is, the button doesn't necessarily prove the fact that she is, again, hidden. afterwards, I'm sorry, but if you find a button, then that would mean that you would have to find Natsuhi in the closet firstly. You would have to then look to a time where she isn't in the closet. You would then need to see that there isn't a button, and then you would need to look again and find a button. So that would obviously prove that she's been in there again. Afterwards, she left the closet and tried to return to her room. Yeah. However, Furudo Erika found and questioned her first, and confessed the crime. Yeah, that is interesting. Isn't it interesting that she didn't even... Oh my god, how many are there? Jesus Christ. What the fuck? 0172 4434. God. That's absurd. I just thought of something really, really interesting. You know the number 07151129? I forgot what it was, but something like that. The one that Wadagiriya, the one that was written on the door that Wadagiriya had helped save Beatrice in. Interesting. I wonder if it could be a reference to something like this. GC official notice 0172 434. Jesus Christ. Due to the result of illusion trial 0147 007982. Jesus Christ. How many people have been victims to this, though? That's ridiculous. This is the worst thing about Umineko, like, you know, the severe element of hopelessness. We are just looking at one tragic case. There are, you know, thousands, millions, hundreds of millions, in fact. I think that is ridiculous. You know, hundreds of millions of lives being ruined for this very reason. Due to the result of illusion trial 0147007982, midnight, October 5th, 1986, we announce that the following has been determined. Yeah, she didn't even admit to her crime. It was because of the fact that she didn't want to frame Kinzo for it. So, you know, by process of elimination, that happened. The Ushinomiya Natsuhi did admit to her crime. For 13 months following this announcement, related docs may be pursued at the Great Court Legal Offices Document Management Center, first subsection. Great Court. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Great Court Deputy Chief, Head Inquisitor of Heresy, Delana A. Knox. God. Delana must have some really boring desk jobs. Holy fuck. So 13 months. 13 months, and then everything is over, basically. Oh. No! So did they take that one statement and then take it out of context? Or is there more? Then let's all assume that I did it, okay? Yeah, that's what you want me to say, right? Oh, that's horrible. I know, yeah, so she'd given up and decided that it would be useless to try and talk of her way out of this any longer. That's horrible. Yeah, Natsuhi screamed that out. Oh god, Erika, what is she going to do? It was a sad incident. Oh my god, I know. I wanted to believe that despite the pitiable circumstances that led to her marriage in the Ushinomiya family. Who's I? Natsuhi just might have been able to grasp a sliver of happiness together with Uncle Kraus and Jessica. Who is I? However, by our Natsuhi's own doing, Uncle Kraus. Oh, Battler? It can't be anyone else. And even her... Oh my god, I know. Her beloved daughter, Jessica. I've been heartlessly killed. And this is the worst thing. It's literally her who is being framed for it. I've been heartlessly killed. Yeah. It was even harder to believe that grandfather had been an accomplice and hid the corpses. If it's hard to believe it, challenge it. However, judging by the clear... oh, fuck. Yeah, that's the worst thing, because it seems so valid that there is no reason to actually challenge it. However, judging by the clear testimony given by several people who knew him... yeah, definitely, yeah. Grandfather's mental state for the last few years has been far from what anyone would consider normal. Dogon majome dorije. Moment. This is... oh, for fuck's sake. Don't want to get my glasses cloth here. Perhaps possessed by a mad devotion to the mistress he had lost long ago. That is really interesting. Grandfather might truly have believed that Aunt Natsuhi was a reincarnation of Beatrice. Where is grandfather now? Like Edika had theorised. Did he really believe that he could revive Beatrice by carrying out murders following the epitaph? Yeah, succumbing to Natsuhi's cajolery. Yeah, right now is he holding some sort of disturbing ceremony with the bodies he carried away? This is the thing that I don't really understand though. If it's a ceremony, then firstly, why is it happening after the epitaph's happening? By the way, I do find it really interesting. Think about Beatrice's motive here. It definitely ties in with this. But, yeah, so it just doesn't really make sense though, because the thing is about this chapter that really, really differs from the other ones is, you know, firstly, first 6 murders, but then Hideyoshi's murder, no murder of ever. Not following the conditions of the epitaph. I did think of something interesting. I mean, obviously it wouldn't make sense in this context, but it could make sense in another context. So, those two who are close, hypothetically speaking, let's say Hideyoshi is the culprit. If he's close to somebody, could that mean he is close in terms of sharing a secret? Who knows? I mean, obviously that wouldn't apply here, but still, could be a possibility. I know, isn't it horrible to think that she has tried so ridiculously much to actually gain a good life, and, you know, this is what happens. This is one of the worst... I know this is one of the worst cases, but this is just truly just something that makes you look at humanity, and then it just makes you want to cry, really, let's be honest here. It is actually really interesting, because how did the delusion... The thing is about the delusion of Kinzo that Natsuhi actually thought, the delusion was tainted to her thoughts, so whatever she expected Kinzo got. But at the same time, if the delusion was more than what Natsuhi expected, and it was a separate entity, then maybe it could be like that? I don't know. I mean, we've seen the conversations, we've never really seen much about Beatrice's resemblance, but I don't know. Maybe in the dedication? I can't believe Edika theorised that. That's actually really impressive. But this is the thing, I cannot be praising that, because look at what has happened. The thing is, I mean, objectively speaking, it is impressive that she has such good intellect and she is really, really talented. But at the same time, isn't it just so horrible to think that she, if you ask me, she could genuinely be solving the culprit and, you know, the riddles behind what has actually happened, but at the same time, she isn't whatsoever. At the same time, though, if you think that Natsuhi is the culprit and that this was all done in some sort of weird delusion, then I suppose it is the entire truth, but I don't know. I saw a theory about that, but I don't know, I'm just not really convinced. Oh, are you? My god, I know! Yeah, because the thing is, this person... This is the thing about Umineko. You have sadistic arseholes who have control over everybody. They are always going to win, and they're going to make it so that the losers suffer the most. Are you satisfied now? This... This is what you wanted to make me say, right? Yeah, Eddie Carl's probably just gonna dishearteningly say that and confirm it. Yeah, Aunt Natsuhi sobbed as she spoke. Yeah, this is... your revenge, isn't it? You, the man from 19 years ago. Are you gonna tell me that the man from 19... What if the man from 19 years ago is Battler? And the entire thing about the killing was an illusion? Oh my god. That would be really interesting. This man from 19 years ago that Aunt Natsuhi kept mentioning was supposedly someone who caught her in some sort of trap. However, she had only mentioned that this man from 19 years ago existed. And she most certainly hadn't tried to explain what had happened 19 years ago. It would all make sense. Yeah, I'm sure that man's underling is one among us here. Okay, I'm sorry, but if this is Battler, if Battler is actually the person that she's referring to here, then I really do wonder. Is this going to be really quite ironic, because this is going to be totally the opposite of the truth. If anything, Battler is the only person who is a little bit doubtful. I'm sure that man's underling is one among us here. I'm sure that right now that man is ridiculing me through one of you. Then tell me. I really hope the man from 19 years ago is Battler. I mean, obviously Battler doesn't know it himself, but could you imagine if that was the case? And, you know, Battler just somehow knew, and then he was just saying like, no, I'm not satisfied at all. Zen dameda. And this is the horrible thing. Yeah, has a bit of that pain and suffering you've endured for 19 years gone away? I finally understand. The reason you've gone on me so far is because you wanted to make me acknowledge that, right? Natsuhi-san. Yeah, but that means the 19 people, that 19th person is one of them. Natsuhi-san, other than us, there's no one, absolutely no one here. Please stop this insanely desperate charade and quit pretending someone who doesn't exist actually does. No, but the only thing is she did genuinely hear the phone call, and it was verified by Genji that there was somebody who was genuinely calling. You're not telling me that she hallucinated the content in that phone call. This is not Hinamizawa bus stop levels of weird. Or, I don't know, any Hikadashi related thing, but Hinamizawa bus stop especially. That is a little bit of a spoiler warning, but I think those are the worst hallucinations caused by Hinamizawa syndrome. I mean, it's canon, but still. It's not part of the story, but still. Yeah, Eddie Carl laughed mockingly, but Aunt Natsuhi looked at us. Huh? No, as she looked at someone being behind us, she hung her head and shook. Then she confessed to her sin. Wait, is she going to talk about the baby killing? Oh my god. I am surprised! Okay, I mean, I get the fact that Natsuhi is probably one of the most honest and, you know, people full of dignity. But this is the worst time to say something like that. But this is the thing. She may have committed murder, or at least she may think she's committed murder, but not here. So you finally acknowledge your crime directly. No. Yeah, that's the worst thing though. Yeah, this is not about what has happened today and yesterday. That is interesting. I really do wonder what she's going to say. No, that is not about what has happened today and yesterday. I will confess to a murder that occurred 19 years ago. Yeah, the adults all whisper together, wondering what this was all about. This is the worst thing, because, I mean, even though Natsuhi didn't objectively kill this person, it still acts as if, you know, she did. This is how she views the truth, thus it is the truth, because the one believer of the truth believes it. Because they had never heard about a murder case 19 years ago. Yep. 19 years ago. I committed a sin.
許せなかったのです。
I couldn't forgive it.
そう。赤ん坊も
Yeah. That baby. But Battle is 18 though. This is the thing that doesn't really make sense. Maybe his records were changed though. Who knows?
今更
Baby?
何の話ですか？
Yeah. Now what are you talking about?
19年前のあの日、
On that day 19 years ago.
私は
Hmm.
お父様より一人の赤ん坊を託されました。
Battle could be the true head to the Ushinomiya family if this is the... No. No. I don't know. The years don't really add up though, that's the thing. On that day 19 years ago, father entrusted me with a baby.
跡継ぎを見守ることのできない私に、ならば養子を迎えよとお父様
Yeah,
は
it's
おっしゃる。
totally unrealistic. Yeah, since I still couldn't bear a successor on my own, father told me to adopt a
施
child.
設から連れてきたという一人の赤ん坊を私に抱かせたので
And he made me hold a baby that he said had been brought here from an orphanage.
す。それが私にどれほど女としての屈辱を与えたか。
No, I do see that. Yeah, do you have any idea how humiliating that was to me as a woman? Yeah, with a mix of conflicting emotions of anger, sadness, regret, and possibly defiance. Oh, Natsuhi confessed. Yeah, her humiliation as a woman when she was no longer expected to bear a child. I know, yeah. Yeah, fair enough, yeah. And also the indescribably unpleasant feeling of being made to hold an unfamiliar baby. It caused her great sadness and rage. And before very many nights passed, yeah, fair, yeah, it ate a hole into her heart. Yeah, that's horrible.
心を悪魔に売り渡したのです。
And then I sold my soul to demons.
赤ん坊を抱かせた潮
Yeah.
見とともにバラ庭園から船着き場の方へ散歩に行った時でした。
It happened when I went on a walk through the rose garden to the harbour, along with a servant holding the
私
baby.
は一人になりたかったのですが、
I wanted to be alone.
赤ん坊を連れたその使用人の
Female.
女は律儀に私の後について回りました。
I wanted to be alone, but that female servant holding the baby faithfully followed me everywhere.
一人にしてくれとさえ言い出せず、だから赤ん坊の泣き声から逃れられず、
I was unable even to tell her to stop following me, and therefore unable to escape from the child's
その日
crying.
19年間
That day,
私を苛む長き頭痛の日々の始まりにうめいていました。
that day marked the beginning of 19 long. Yeah, that's horrible. Yeah, headache-filled years. But she has committed murder. That's how she views this. This is the thing. If the truth is as if she has committed murder, then she does deserve to feel like that, because you do not deserve to live a happy life after you've committed murder. But at the same time, obviously, that is a statement that is really, really open for debate. Then we face the cliff from across the fence.
はるか眼下の岩浜に
If by taking that baby,
この赤ん坊を放り捨てることで
and throwing it down onto the rocky beach far below me,
全てなかったことにできれば、
I can undo it all.
そんな悪魔の誘惑を
Definitely.
私は確かに聞きました。
So if you deny magic here, you can just think that the demon is, like Angie said, in a human being's emotions, it's consisting of a white and black side, really. It's just the black side totally luring her in to poison the white side.
それが本当にできたらどれほど素晴らしいかと。
And for the smallest of moments, I thought of how wonderful it would be if I really could do that. Yeah, and then it... Yeah,
ほんの一
fair.
瞬
Fair enough,
耳を
yeah.
傾けてしまったのです。
And lent an ear to that temptation. At that time,
赤ん坊を抱いた使用人は大きな石を踏んで足をくじきよろめいた。
the servant holding the baby stepped on a large rock, twisted her ankle and
そ
staggered.
して粗末な柵に寄りかかり、その時柵が大きくきしんだ気がした。
She leaned against the rough fence, and at that time I thought I heard the fence
私
creak
は
loudly.
危ないと言いながら肩を掴もうとしました。
Oh my god. Oh, that is horrible. I told her to look out and try to grab her shoulder.
いえ、
By the way, little question. If Battler is the baby, then this is all a delusion, by the way.
そんな曖昧な言い方はしません。
I shouldn't be so vague.
懺悔します。
I'll repent.
告白します。
I'll confess.
私はあの時確かに危ないと言いながら
At that moment, I'm sure that as I told her to look out,
その使用人の肩
with both hands,
両手で
I reached with the servant's shoulder.
ドンと
And with a thud.
強く押し飛ばしたのです。
Push her away hard!
粗末な策は根元から折れ
Jesus Christ, beforehand we only got wind of the fact that she had wished for somebody to die. I didn't actually know that she was the person who genuinely did it. And it is really interesting because this interpretation about Beatrice, what Delana was saying at the beginning when she met Battler firstly, and you know, after the court trial when she talked with Battler, it's about the fact that magic may be appeared to have aided the result, but what is the same as the result? You can interpret it differently, you can completely deny magic, and then you can come to a valid conclusion. So magic is just a substitute for human logic, really. Using Beatrice is just it's just escapism. What we saw there was Natsuhi's means of escapism, and means of shifting the blame. That is really interesting. So her delusions actually caused her to shift the blame. That's horrible. I can't believe that she would do this though, genuinely. It is interesting. Why was the servant consistently following her though? I just don't really understand what she was doing. Maybe she was trying to convince her? The rough fence snapped from the base. And the servant, along with the baby held in her arms, fell down towards the rocky beach below. Even the baby did? What? Even though... I remember that moment vividly. For some reason I recall a vague... This may change. Ooh, and very strange feeling. It almost felt as though instead of falling, that is interesting. It almost felt as though instead of falling, the two of them were silently swallowed up into empty space. Yeah, that's a big red flag of it potentially being a delusion. No, I'm sorry. I'm being too I'm assuming too much that the baby is Battler. It can't be. I don't need to make it so that is the only possibility I consider. If this is not a delusion, then she was so stressed that she's probably feeling as if she's going to faint and is forgetting to actually pay attention to the scene. She's probably hearing ringing in her ears. Everything's probably looking like when you get up too quickly from having been really tired, you know, you just can barely see anything around you. You know, it could either be a complete delusion, or it could be the fact that she is so stressed that this didn't happen. But at the same time, it all depends on Battler's history. If this is Battler, this baby, then oh boy, yeah, she is deluded. If it's not, then fuck, that is bad. Because she has genuinely committed murder. No, I'm sure I heard it.
消えたと思い込みたかったか
But because I wanted to think that they
ら
disappeared.
聞いた音をきっと
Were they even there in the
記憶から
beginning
消
though?
し去ってしまったのです
That is interesting, but because I wanted to think that they disappeared, I must have erased that sound from my memory. Did they exist to begin with?
それが
And then...
私は一瞬これが夢だと信じました
For an instant, I thought it was a dream.
あの高さですからちょっと身を乗り出したくらいでは眼下の二人は見えません
It was high enough that I couldn't see the two of them below me just by leaning over.
二人が落ちたことさえほんの数秒前のことさえ現実のことなのかわからなくて
Interesting. Could this be indicative of the fact that Natsuhi has never seen a corpse before? Because obviously you wouldn't be knowledgeable of what they would look like.
ここから赤ん坊が落ちればいいのにと願いすぎて
Yeah. I must have been wishing so strongly that the child would fall.
白チュームを見てしまったに違いない
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That I just had a daydream.
そう自らに思い込ませ足早にバラ庭園に
But the only thing that I don't really understand, Kinzo has genuinely given Natsuhi a baby. Or is this just what she wanted herself to feel? And when she actually had the kid, it wasn't some sort of magical blessing. It was because of the fact that she had finally won the RNG lottery, the RNG roulette, I suppose, if you link it to Umineko. Link it, shut up. If you make it relevant to Umineko, then I suppose. Yeah, trying to make myself still believe this, I hurry back to the rose
赤
garden.
ん坊は使用人に任せ私は一人ここで休んでいたことにしました
Then I decided to let the servant take care of the baby, choosing to take a rest alone in the garden. It is really interesting to think that Natsuhi, when thinking about this moment, can actually so easily realise about the fact that it's a delusion. But the thing is, she wasn't actually able to think it like this because of the fact that she has always wanted to entirely bury the memory within herself. So this fully makes sense now. So the adopted kid has been completely rejected by Natsuhi. She's wished death on it. She's imagined a scenario where a servant consistently following, it's interesting that, had, you know, pushed off and Natsuhi had made them die. No sound of falling, no view of them falling. Natsuhi either has really bad, even if he had really bad eyesight, you could see the body. So, as a result of that, the servant having the baby made them go to the adoption centre, and won't you look at that, Battler's adopted, bet you anything. I feel like there is a really high chance that this is Battler. I don't know though. Wait, I forgot, is Ushinomiya Rudolph your father a red truth or not? Let me just search it up. Oh god, do I have the wiki page? Sorry, this might take a bit of time. Yeah, okay, I have the wiki page up here. Let's just see. I won't be that long, I just want to see. Right, not Asumi's son, where Rudolph... Wait, no, wait, Dad, I read Dad? What is the sin, though? Right, let me just search, Dad. Right. Lamb, Dad, Elsa. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, Rudolph. Where are we? Okay, we're not getting spoilers. Right, shit, I'm far down. Oh my god, why did I just... I'm so stupid. Right, Okay, yeah, so there's nothing regarding whether, in red, Rudolph is Battler's father or not.
So
Then...
お父様に 赤ん坊はどうしたの
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Then father asked what had happened to the baby. Whatever is going to happen, I am...
任せた使用人の姿が
Oh,
見え
yeah,
る
fair. Okay, that is weird, though. The fact that the servant has genuinely disappeared. That is really interesting, though. Maybe Natsuhi has killed the servant, and everything has actually happened regarding the servant, but the baby was there because of the fact she was deluded, and she had killed the servant because of her delusion. Oh my god. That's absurd. And an uproar began over the disappearance of the servant. Or maybe she'd been framed. Who had been in charge of it. Interesting. Eventually the broken fence was discovered. What? And 2 corpses were found at the bottom of the cliff. There's no way. The child had apparently been here for reasons that couldn't have been known, so its existence was hushed up. Yeah. You so nearly fell for the trap. This is Erika's truth. Doesn't necessarily mean that the truth is there. This child was not there. No way. That is not what I'm believing. Ha! Oh, they tried to trap me. They tried so hard. Oh. Yeah. This is what Natsuhi thought, though. I'm sorry, but there's no way. The child had apparently been here for reasons that couldn't become known, so his existence was hushed up, and the official story was that the servant had an accident on her own and died. Wait, no, hang on a second. Yeah, okay, never mind. I hadn't read the whole thing. Jesus Christ, that's embarrassing. But still, can you see my train of thought, though? Yeah, you've got to be paranoid as possible. You've got to be like a security guard. Paranoid of every possibility.
私は一度に2人もの罪なき命を奪ったのです。
Can't believe 2 were found, though, genuinely. But that is interesting, though. The child being there doesn't necessarily mean that he is dead. Right, so my theory is that whoever did this is the culprit, and they may have been conspiring for a long time for something to actually happen. So, little theory is that what they have done is they've secretly made it so that the baby, or maybe Battler, I don't know, the child, I feel like it's Battler. So, let's just assume, well no, the child has been transported and has especially been asked by the servant to come to the Ushinomiya family. I don't know, he's tried to play dead somehow. Maybe they've tricked him into sunbathing or sleeping or something like that. I don't know. Oh god, that's horrible. Yeah, as for the poor servant, her family was graciously compensated. Oh Jesus. That's horrible. Her aged husband, who didn't know the truth, accepted this even though he grieved over the unfortunate accident. Oh my god. Yeah, it's not... Nothing's gonna happen if you do that. He's dead, he can't hear you. It's not gonna change anything. You still murdered and ruined his life. Yeah, then just a few years ago he died of old age, and I confessed the truth over his grave, apologising. But until this day... Well, you might be able to, don't worry. But until this day, I've never apologised to that baby. Yes. Yes, that's what you're after, isn't it? So right here, right now, I'll confess to my crime. Hi, Ushinomiya Natsuhi. Did 19 years ago. 19 years ago. Push you off a cliff. And try to kill you. But... It's debatable as to whether the baby was actually there, though. I don't think the baby was there. But you didn't die, did you? You're still alive. That is weird, though. That can't be Battler though. I completely forgot about this detail. Yeah, that is odd. You didn't die, did you? You're still alive and you still call me
こ
mother.
の島へ帰ってきて
You came to this island.
こうして復讐をされたのですね
You came to this island and you took your revenge on me, didn't you?
あなたはこの19年間
For these 19 years.
母と呼ぶはずだった私に突き落とされたことを知って
Yeah, you knew that the one you should have... You knew that the one you should have called your mother pushed you off a
ど
cliff.
れほどの憎悪の人生を送ったのでしょうね
But this doesn't add up with Battler at all. So I don't know, who could this be? Hang on. No. No, never mind, he's too young. Could potentially be Kanon, but no, like I said, too young. Kanon's 16, I think. I think Shannon's 18 and Kanon's 16. And George is 25, by the way, can we just let that sink in? I mean, obviously they do have genuine love, but what is that age gap?
そしてあなたは私があなたを突き落としてから得た
Exactly though, yeah. And now you've taken everything I've gained since pushing you off that cliff.
18年間の人生を
Seriously, yeah.
こうして
Yeah.
全て打ち壊しました
And now you've taken everything I've gained since pushing you off that cliff. 18 years of my life and smashed it all to pieces. It is interesting to think that, do you feel compassion for her because of the fact that it's 18 years of her life? I mean, that's literally longer than I've lived. Like, it's not anything to be taken lightly. Or do you think it's deserved because of the fact that she has actually committed murder because of her stressful circumstances?
もう私には愛した夫も
Yeah, but that is never
娘
deserved.
もいません
And that is horrible. Yeah, that is not deserved though, no way. I no longer have my beloved husband and
そして
daughter.
私には名誉もだ
Yeah. But to be honest, did she really deserve to have it? That's the question. And I've lost even my honour.
こうして人殺し呼ばわりされて
Yeah. And I'm being called a murderer.
いえ本当に人殺しですものね
No, I really am a murderer, aren't I?
ええそうです
Yes, that's right.
あなたの目論見通り
Yeah, I see that, yeah, it went all according to your plans.
私は今や人殺しとみなされています
It is interesting that I'm now regarded as a killer. How's that?
復讐には
Is this enough?
これで十分ですか
For your revenge?
夫と娘を殺され
God, it's horrible. My husband and daughter have been killed. Yeah! Seriously,
拷
yeah.
問を着せられ不貞の
Yeah,
嫁は
definitely. Yeah, in the most humiliating and awful fashion. Yeah, my husband and daughter have been killed. I've been made to look like a murderer, like an adulteress
こう
even.
して生き恥をかかされる私を見て
After seeing me living in disgrace like
あな
this,
たは満足ですか
yeah, are you satisfied?
さぞや満足でしょうね
Yes, I bet you're quite satisfied.
私
It's gone! Yeah, because of my family.
名誉も
Yeah, my honour. And in general, her future, to be honest, is horrible.
奪い去ったのですか
Everything has been stolen from me. Oh, God. I'm so conflicted. It is such a conflicting tale, genuinely. Oh no. Is this an Eddie cutscene?
この後に及んでまだ濡れ衣だと言い張るんですか
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, after all this, do you claim that you still were framed?
まったくあなたは本当に往生際の悪い
Seriously, you just don't know when to give up.
聞こえていますか19年前の呪われた赤ん坊
Can you hear me? You, the cursed child from 19 years
これで
ago.
満足ですか
Are you satisfied?
あなたは私
This is the
から
worst
全てを
thing.
奪いました
Yeah, you've stolen everything from me
まだ
now.
何か足りないというのですか
Just what else could you want? Please. Just...
私は
Oh no. Oh, forgive me. Interesting. I do wonder what is going to happen.
ダメだな。
That is interesting. Yeah. Things are turning. I think Batala's realised what I may have realised. I'm nervous. God, I know it's horrible. It's useless, isn't it? It's gonna be interesting.
バトラさん、何か言いました？
Oh, yeah. Shut up. Yeah, just trying to totally provoke him. Yeah, Batala-san, did you say something?
全然
I'm just kind of paranoid. She's not trying to provoke him. It's just, I hate her so much that I just instinctively want to say something like that. It's all useless. But...
バトラ
Batala-kun.
ああ、
Yeah.
ダメだな。
It's useless, isn't it?
全然ダメだぜ。
So useless. Oh. Let me just tell you something. I find it really interesting that Rudolph told Battler that he wanted to say something about himself and his birth. It was almost as if that would mean this would not be a surprise, wouldn't it? In theory. I can't act like I'm right. Cast. Ushidon wa Batara. Furudo Erika. Tamana Ino. Standards of the Bunkhouse Beatrice. Is that the end? Isn't it ironic that... Firstly, this is something here. Oh, I'm gonna be excited to listen to this credit music. Interesting. Isn't it so funny to think that, right, this is going to be interesting to see. Yeah, people were alive at the suspension of the game. Isn't that absurd? I really do wonder how the world will actually progress after this. Yeah. My mouse is having an adventure. It's got to not touch the text, that's the challenge. It's got to weave everywhere, but it cannot touch the text. Didn't touch it. What? I thought Wadagiriga's name had two L's, what? Gertrude. Cornelia. That didn't touch it. Leviathan. Satan. But yeah, Belphegor even. What a fucking sloth. Mammon. Greedy bastard. Hungry bastard. Lust-filled bastard. Chiesta 00. If Chiesta 556 is gonna be here. Oh my god. Nah. Ah, yeah, I love that the goats are credited. That's quite funny. 5th game! Yeah, that is interesting. Whatever awaits us, it is interesting, and interesting. Interesting. Do you get what I'm referring to? With my mouse that is really obviously pointing to something. Oh my god, man, what a finale. And what a cliffhanger as well. It's ironic that, you know, with Higurashi related stories, when the story had some sort of finale, it was always definitively over, but not with Umineko, no way. Right, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, so basically, yeah, the answer. It's going to be interesting, this. What's the game going to look like? Wait, it's not going to change. Yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see what the background for episode 6 is going to be. Because, yeah, I do wonder. Right, tea party. Episode 5, tea party. Don't know where to make it this far. Have you enjoyed your stay on Rock Genjima? Well, apart from wanting to fucking kill Erika, yes. And burn. And probably and definitely Lambda. The Golden Witch has granted you an invitation to her tea party. We hope that you choose to attend. Right, this is going to be quite interesting. So, who is the Golden Witch now? Because Beatrice is the Golden Witch and she has died. So, who is the one actually inviting us to the tea party? Ooh.
Erika, Doranor.
It's going to be interesting. Erika. Erika! Delana. Yes. Oh my god. It's so funny. It's so funny how she is just so sycophantic and she just has this hilariously goofy expression on whenever she is called by her master. It is really quite funny how they've actually done this right though. I actually really like how they've done it. I think she looks hilarious. You called? I want you to stay in this fragment. Ooh. And explain everything in the remaining first through fourth games. Okay. Yep. Episode 6 is going to be interesting. But at the same time, is episode 6 going to have a game board? Or is it just going to be the first through fourth games? Because if it doesn't have a game board, then that's either really, really good or really bad. I don't know. The pitiful transient witch who supports the illusion of the witch no longer exists herself. Yes, you need to crush it. Expose the naked truth thoroughly. Leave it to me, my master. There is no riddle that I, Furudo Erika, cannot solve. What if you have a riddle in every single language in the world? I mean, to be fair, it would take time, but she could solve it. It would be hard though. No, there could be a riddle that she could not solve. What if there was some indecipherable... Ooh, here's a good one. What if you have some really, really heavily encrypted text with loads and loads of encryption keys, with loads of complex digits that there were no pattern to whatsoever? That's a riddle you could not solve. Bet you anything. In before she just solves it. She's probably going to be like 400 years old by the time she solves something like that. By the way, the answers can't have any patterns whatsoever. They can't have any predictable translations. They all have to be really random words. Like, I don't know, some sort of capture. Of course! That's why you're my piece, my double. Burncastle wore a massive... Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Burncastle wore a massive and horrible smile, which Erika shared. Yeah, she may be trying to deny the witch, but she is by no means an ally of Batterer. Beatrice's illusion of the witch would disappear. Yeah, that's the worst thing. Yeah, exactly though. Yeah. And the results in all of the previous games will be painted over. Isn't it interesting to think that these people were basically seized control and they are making it so, you know, it's as if they have owned the game board to begin with. They are completely ruining anything it could have been. It had been crushed in, yes, it had been crushed in every way possible and only the naked truth remained. Yeah, such a weak truth was no better than fish on the chopping board for Erika. Yeah, you're just gonna totally slice it up. I like that. Is it? It is possible to explain all of the past 4 games with Natsuhi as the criminal. Or with certain irregularities based off that theme. Okay, this is what I don't understand. If Natsuhi was the criminal and had no accomplices, then in episode 2 with the letter, firstly, how was that put there? Nah, but you could think of many tricks. And it could have been Maria who did it, I don't know. What's a really irregular death that couldn't... Well, she can't be possibly dead because it is said in red that Natsuhi was killed by, you know, the evisceration and also the, you know, everything regarding the Halloween party.
もはやベアトリーチェなる魔女の犯行とは二度と語らせません。
Yeah, that is interesting. I won't let anyone say it's the crime of the witch Beatrice again.
に入り、極上の物語を献上してご覧に入れます。
I'll start compiling it together at once and then present a first-rate tale to you. Interesting.
ベアトの魔女伝説は一かけらも残してはダメよ。
It's gotta add up in every single fragment. You mustn't leave even a single fragment of Bertol's Legend of the Witch behind.
使用人たちの間の噂、不可解な出来事をそうであるかのように語る空気。
Ah, yeah, the rumours among the servants. The way people talked about unexplained events as though the legend was the
金像
cause.
の幻想と連動した魔女幻想。
The illusion of the witch that worked alongside the illusion of Kinzo.
すべて完全に処分しなさい。
That is gonna be interesting. Yeah, deal with all of them completely.
無論です。
Of course.
直ちに着手いたします。
I'll get to it right
現
away.
在、家具たちの身柄を拘束。
Oh yeah, fair. Yeah, we now have the furniture in
よ
custody.
り城の特定を急いでいます。
We're hurrying to identify their vessels. What? Oh no, the Seven Stakes of Purgatory had already been taken into custody. Those noisy sisters who had served Bertol now faced nothing but... Oh yeah, fair, yeah. What sort of illusion were they based upon that allowed them to manifest? That is fair, actually. Yeah, that is actually really interesting to think. Like, why have the Seven Stakes of Purgatory... It is interesting that an illusion has caused them to actually gain power. Maria. That's what I'm thinking. Maria, because she can create a 1 from a 0, basically. It should be impossible, but she can't. If she has thorough belief in something that could be like a Seven Stake of Purgatory, and she is in the Marial Sorciera as well, so it may make a little more sense if you look at it with that angle. Marial's a child, so she's going to believe anything, and she's going to give strength to an illusion. And she could give strength to many illusions. I don't know. Everything would be exposed. Yeah, that is going to be interesting. Yeah, and denied.
アイゼルネ・ヨングフラウはすでに調査を開始しております。
Oh god, Eisern Jungfrau has already begun its investigation.
最新の調査結果では、1960年代にニューヨーク近隣で製造された可能性が濃厚です。
According to the most recent results, there is a high probability that they were constructed during the 1960s in the vicinity of New York.
すでに補佐官が現地入りしております。
What? An aide has already been sent to the location. What?
1960年代煉獄の七姉妹はメイドイン USA?
The 1960s, the Seven Stakes of Purgatory are made in the USA. At least they're not made. Oh my god, they could be made in China.
ソロモン王に連なる千年の魔女に仕える家具とか威張っておきながらとんだまがいものじゃない。
Even though they bragged about being furniture connected with King Solomon and serving a 1,000-year-old witch, they were a total sham.
何者なの？
Who was it?
報告によればオカルトマニアの富豪たちに
According to the
イミ
report,
テーションを売りつけて高額詐欺を働く集団があるとか。
according to the report, there's this group of big-time swindlers who make money by selling fakes to rich fans of the occult. That is really interesting, that if you can actually find the cause of the Seven Stakes of Purgatory and the cause for the illusion that has caused them to actually manifest, you can completely crush them and you can make it so that they have no power and are completely invalidated. it is really interesting to think that if people are omniscient of the fact that the legend of the witch had actually been a cause for the events, no, sorry, wasn't a cause and it was just an illusion, yet people had used the excuse for it being a legend of the witch, i.e. the servants. What the fuck has happened? Interesting. Yeah, that is actually really quite interesting that the Seven Stakes of Purgatory could have potentially been some sort of fantasized thing by Kinzo. Yeah, because the deceived millionaires tried to resell the fakes as though they were real. Fair, yeah, there's a chance that they've been falsely deified by enthusiasts in the field. We're rushing to find confirmation and further details. Oh yeah. So, Ushinomiya Kinzo was a sucker who'd pay big bucks for any fake occult object. Maybe, yeah. So it is really interesting to think that Kinzo's interpretation of the occult and magic in general could potentially be entirely based on fake media. And that's what the Seven... Isn't it so horrible to think that this person is basically they've defeated Beatrice, and now they are basically defeating anything that had made Beatrice... Anything that makes Beatrice... Anything that makes up Beatrice's life, anything that she owns. Like, you defeat somebody, and then you defeat every single thing that they own, really. It's kind of like... Well, I suppose it could be like a dictator, you know, you take over a country, and then you... I don't know... ruin the lives of everybody there. And that's what the Seven Sisters of Purgatory really are. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's horrible, this. A total sham, just like Bertol's illusion of the witch. Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, that is even more interesting, yeah. That they call themselves the Seven Deadly Sins. They're actually cheap fake souvenirs. Isn't it really quite interesting to think that the souvenirs, so they could actually be representations of, you know, stakes. Because of the fact that they are seen as people, that is what the illusion is. So the illusion is making it so that these, you know, souvenirs that look like the occult stakes have actually been made to be seen as people. And then because of the fact that the illusion's been given power, they have been able to actually exist. It just really sounds like Maria's doing riff if you link it to Sakutaro. Well, from the very beginning. Oh my god. No. Yeah, say that in red. From the very beginning, I figured they were nothing more than paperweights. Some shady souvenir shop. I see that, but... What shady souvenir shops does she go to, I wonder? Paperweights. God, she is demented. Oh no. Have you confronted the Seven Sisters with that truth yet? No, not... Well, they're probably gonna do it now. Yeah, but the only thing is if nobody has ever told them, and if the origins of them have been completely false, you know, made in USA, quite literally, from New York in 1960, then, yeah, Of course they will. They still seriously believe that they were created by a great sorcerer over 1,000 years ago.
偉大なる魔術師によって生み出されたとか本気で信じてやがります。
I'd like to confront them with perfect evidence and the truth right
早
away.
く完璧な証拠と真実を突きつけ、
And let them know that they are mere
自分
paperweights.
たちが原価30ドルにも満たない文人風情であることを
worth
思い
less,
知らせてやりたいです。
worth less than $30 US. God, that's absurd. That is interesting though. So I could never have imagined that. So you could basically commit murder with a paperweight. But to be fair, I don't think that it's as simple as that. I mean, I'm sorry, but like you cannot commit murder with something that has been sold at a souvenir shop, even if it is shady. I think what they have done is they have somehow found means of sharpening them, and then they have committed murder with that.
どんな顔を見せて絶望するのかしら。
Jesus. This is the worst thing. There is no compassion and, you know, any source of pain, any source of, you know, injustice, she enjoys. No, but the only thing is it really injustice though? Because it's been an illusion, and now, because of the fact that she has power, she can crush it, but what does justice really mean in this world? It is an interesting question. When you do, I wonder what their faces will look like as they lose all hope. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, of course you can't wait, you
そ
fucking
の際
bully.
には私を呼びなさい。
Oh god, call for me when that happens.
最高の紅茶と梅干しを持って鑑賞に来るわ。
Jesus. Yeah, enjoy, have some nice food and drink when somebody literally, when 7 people die. People. But still, you get what I mean. I'll come to watch with some of the best black tea and dried plums. Beato's illusion of the witch had already been penetrated, and it's been proven that everything was simply the result. I know, it's absurd, yeah. Yeah, and it's been proven everything was simply a result of human delusions. What kind of delusions created them? And what caused these in the first place? I just saw something really interesting. Okay, 556 isn't in here. Right, okay, so you remember Mario's Bunny Squad? You remember the bunny plush toys? No, not bunny figures. 556 is a Chiesta sister who is completely irrelevant because of the fact that she has been, you know, she's just been killed somehow in battle. There was a reference to her. There are 4 Chiesta sisters, 1 has died. They are bunnies. What are there also? Oh my god, 4 bunny rabbits. And 1 of them has died. Yeah, we're on to something. We're on to something. Right. I think Maria did this. I genuinely think Maria did this. When the answers were proven perfectly and shoved in the faces of those concerned. Yeah, the illusion would vanish and be completely annihilated. Yeah, this is what they meant by execution. Interesting. It's for burn. An execution is not a show. As a general rule, it is not made public.
元老院議員であらせられる大ベルンカステル教による
This is an inspection by the Great Lady Berncastle, member of the
大
Senate.
本院が職務を適正に執行しているかの視察です。
God, so she could observe that the Great Court is performing its duties
異端
satisfactorily.
審問官風情が拒否する気ですか
You have got to be kidding me. So they are going to make it so the execution of the 7 Stages of Purgatory is literally, you know, made to be seen by everybody. Yeah, and this is the thing. There is so much power, so she can do anything she wants. This is the worst thing about all of these witches. It's you as a mere inquisitor of heresy. A mere fucking hell. Wish to deny her this right. This is going to be interesting.
ええ、そうよ。
God, she can't even do it. Yes, that's right.
ドラノールたちが職務を正規の手順で遂行するかどうか、
Jesus.
私は元老院を代表して視察するだけよ。
I'm just observing as a representative of the Senate to make sure you follow the proper procedures when you carry out your work. Oh God, and you know what you're doing.
ワルギリア、ロノウェ、ガープたちも現在拘束へ向け
Oh
て準
my
備中です。
God. We are currently preparing to take Warugiria, Ronoe, and Gap into custody as
シ
well.
エスタ姉妹この得体が捜索に当たっています。
Interesting that, even though the Chiesa sisters are, in theory, part of the same delusion-related things, the Chiesa sisters' Imperial Guards are conducting that investigation.
無論その後にベアトリーチェに関わった3人についても拘束処刑します。
Isn't that horrible? Yeah, so you just use these people and then you detain and execute them. Yeah, so you get the most use out of them and then you just execute them. What does it sound like? It sounds like animal farming, to be honest. Which, I mean, obviously subjective views. I personally view it as one of the most cruel things that happens on Earth, really. But I don't know, it's obviously really open to debate, but even if it is free range and organic farming, I still find it really fucking cruel. That's so horrible.
シエスタ姉妹の正体は
Talana, what is the true nature of the Chiesa sisters?
高い確率で犯行に用いた凶器がよりしろではないかと推
Yeah,
定
that's
されます
reasonable, actually. Yeah, we believe there is a high likelihood that their vessels are weapons used in the crimes.
ガートルード上級補佐官が専従チームを結成
For this purpose, senior-eyed Gertrude has formed a special
全
team.
件を調査中です
Interesting. New characters? We're currently investigating all cases.
シエスタ姉妹の処刑も楽しみです。
Oh, Jesus. I'm looking forward to the Chiesa sisters'
一
execution
人
too.
ずつ
One at a
まと
time.
めて一度に
How can you be this detached? Or all of them at once?
茶葉の缶を中身全部ポットに入れるバカはいないわ。
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so she's likening it to basically, you know, you get more the more you get more beautiful results out of slower execution, really. I didn't mean execution as in killing, but execution as in doing something and getting something done. No one's stupid enough to put an entire can of tea leaves in a pot at
一
once.
さじずつゆっくり味わわなくちゃ。
God, that's horrible. You've got to enjoy it slowly, one spoonful at a time.
まったくです。
What a fucking twisted discussion.
処
Exactly.
刑は連日行いましょう。
Oh my god, let's have like executions on consecutive
彼た
days.
ちに魔女たちに
Jesus, for the furniture and the witches, one by
一
one.
人ずつ連日の処刑ショーを必ずやお届けします。
I'll send you an execution show every day. Jesus.
素敵じゃない。
Wonderful.
何しろずいぶんの人数がいるからね。
After all, there really are a lot of them.
2週間くらいはたっぷり楽しめそうじゃない？
God, looks like we'll be able to enjoy ourselves for a full 2 weeks. This is the worst. How many people have died as a result of this person's boredom? Like, genuinely, I'm not even joking.
誰から
How
処刑する
many?
かその順序を彼らに決めさせるとか。
God, maybe we can let them decide which ones to execute first. Jesus.
処刑概念についても最高の提案をするように。
God, make sure you think up something great for the
古
execution
今東西
concept.
のあらゆる処刑を毎日楽しみたいわ。
I'd like to enjoy executions both old and new from east and west. Oh, God, what is going to get done to these people though? Genuinely,
処
that's
刑
what I'm.
は大法院規定の方法でと規則があり
Nah,
ます
you can't use that. The rules state that the method of execution is to follow great court regulations.
お任せを我が主。
Leave it to me, my master.
必ずや魅力的な処刑ショーを準備いたします。
God, yeah, I'll most certainly prepare you a fascinating execution. So,
最低で
fucking
も
horrible.
四つ咲き系くらいにはなさいよ。
Oh, you better quarter at least one of them.
無論です。
When she says quarter, does she mean quite literally split them up into quarters?
ヨーロッパ各国からアジア各国まで。
Oh my god. I shall make a list of the best forms of execution from all countries from Europe to Asia. It has to be legal within Great Court regulations though. Let's hope that that may not happen.
東西のあらゆる王国が採用した国王への反逆罪にのみ適用される各国最高の処刑を列挙してご覧に入れます。
How? I'm sorry, I just don't get how it is possible for somebody to be this messed up. Like, seriously. How can you be this sad and, you know, masochistic as well? I just really wonder what happened to Burn. I mean, it's obvious that Erika's going to be like this because of the fact that she is entirely under the influence of Burn. But firstly, why is Erika willing to do this, or is she doing it by no choice? Well, it would be natural that you could think that, but why is she so happy about the fact that she can do it? Firstly, what has happened in Erika's life to actually make her feel this detached from humanity, and to make her feel as emotionless as a detective would be? What has happened in Burn's life as well? Seriously, what has happened to make these people what they are? The beyond disgusting people that they are. It's just a question. How many other people have fallen victim to things like this? How many people has Burn completely denied and executed? In the most cruel ways, let me add. Yeah, that's scary. God, I'd like to think up some execution methods myself. Jesus fucking Christ, pondering that would be the perfect way to relax on those sleepless. How much of a fucking psycho are you? I'll iron out my ideas and send you a letter soon. Certainly, my master. Oh, God. Then we'll have the Burn Castle style one as the grand finale. She is so sycophantic, but at the same time she is just so absurdly irritating and horrible and just agreeing to this. I mean, to be fair, you kind of have to agree to this, but, you know, she is not only agreeing to this, but she is happy about this, and she is wanting to do this. At the very, very end, when all the illusions are broken and Berto's magical compendium has been completely crushed. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I shall present my master with the finest of executions that... Oh, God. That she desires, the execution of Beatrice. Thank you, Erika. I just genuinely wonder how much ridiculous pain has actually happened to her. I mean, she has been living for 1,000 years. That is a time that is so inexplicably long to anybody. So it does make sense that boredom would occur. But at the same time, though, it's just unbelievable to think that boredom would make somebody this insane. This detached from moral. Yeah, thank you, Erika. Thanks to you, it seems I'll be able to forget the pain of my illness for a little while. Oh, Jesus. You're just perfect. Yeah, my piece, my double. My adorable daughter. Your words are too good for me, master. Jesus Christ. Viewing somebody like that as a mother, I feel fucking sorry for her. Well, no, I don't, but like, still. You get what I mean. I mean, how sad must it be to have Burn Castle treat Erika as a mother? So, like, what the fuck actually happened regarding... By the way, I do find it interesting. There was an inconsistency that I never really understood. When, so Genji had said, or somebody had said, that Erika's parents and family had been phoned and they were really worried. I think Burn was the one who answered the phone call, and Erika doesn't actually have any family, and Burn was the person who actually made Erika exist in the beginning because of the fact that she gave belief to a delusion, maybe? believed to an illusion that caused Edgar to be existing. Edgar, I'll give you honor and a
ベアト
reward.
の最大の象徴であるあの大広間の肖像
Oh,
が
so this is where it comes in. I'll give you honor and a reward. And that reward is the greatest symbol of Beatrice, the portrait from the
あれ
reception
を
hall.
外して叩き割りその薪にてケーキを焼いて食べなさい
Take that off, smash it to make firewood, bake a cake with that and eat
そ
it!
して残った額縁にあなたの肖像画を掲げることを許すわ
Holy fuck, then I'll allow you to put your portrait up in the remaining That is really, really interesting that, I always thought that this was going to happen because of the fact that Edgar had solved the epitaph. And, I mean, you know, obviously Battler had solved the epitaph and he had become the family head, but maybe Edgar could have been the one who has been considered worthy of this portrait. I don't know though, but it is interesting that this is the result of it. God, isn't that horrible? Just completely disrespecting any symbol. But at the same time, this is the thing that's so hard about the debate. It may be horrible on a standpoint regarding, you know, the fact that you are completely ruining everything somebody has stood for, like you did with Natsuhi. But, yeah, does she, like Natsuhi actually, did Beatrice deserve it because of how much she has done and how many of the Ushinomiya family members she has killed? I mean, I get that it's a pretty stupid argument, but Byrne has killed far more, so I don't really know if you could say that Beatrice deserved it. Byrne has definitely killed more people than Beatrice. I can't know that definitively, but still. It's so disgusting, though. It's completely... So Edgar made a cake with it and ate it. That's convenient. And here we go. Edgar's portrait.
ありがとうございます。
Well, I mean... She's got to eat the cake, though. Is she going to be able to do that? By the way, I'm sorry, but this portrait looks so fucking cool. I find it really interesting, though, by the way. No, I'll look into the portrait and its background and its scenery later. Thank you very much.
最高の栄誉です。
I know, to be fair, I mean, I see what she means. Even though she is a fucking horrible person, like, to have a portrait of this much beauty made for you, I mean, it is an amazing portrait, and I will never deny that. It really
ベ
is
ア
an
トリーチェ
amazing
の
one.
名前と痕跡のすべての抹殺
Yeah.
抹
You will eradicate and erase Beatrice's name and all traces of her.
消それがすべて終わるまでの間あなたにこの閉じられた六軒島の主となることを命じるわ
Until that is all finished, I will order that you be made the master of this sealed off Dokenjima. Interesting. Everything is over. There is one hope we can cling on to, but if that doesn't work, then no. Battler, the fact that he said it's useless Zenzen Dameda, maybe some sort of hope, I don't know. Maybe he's going to challenge everything here. I don't know, I hope he does though, because if he doesn't, the game board is completely dead. Everything is over. God, what a bloody disrespectful act. Complete desecration of Beatrice. By the name of the Witch of Miracles, Burn
その日
Castle.
まであなたに魔女の位を与えることを宣言するわ
I proclaim that you will be given the rank of witch until that
これよりあなた
day.
は真実の魔女エリカを名乗りなさい
Yeah, from now on, you will call yourself Erika, the Witch of Truth. Yeah, ironic that. Yeah, the Witch of completely twisting the truth. Yeah. The Witch of Truth.
ありがとうございます、我が主。この栄誉に恥じぬ一層の働きを誓います。
I vow to work even harder so that this honor will not be wasted. Even though she was nothing more than a piece. I know it really is surprising. Even I find it really interesting this, but the thing is, this is what Erika's truth has been able to do. It's been able to rise against Battler, Beatrice. It's been able to make a perfect victory. Of course, she, objectively speaking, deserves this. No matter how twisted it is, she does deserve this because she has put in the effort and she has sought victory, so she does deserve a reward for the victory. Even though she was nothing more than a piece, she was being granted the honour of calling herself a witch just like our master, if only for a brief stretch of time. Erika was so motivated that her actions had been acknowledged in this greatest form that she trembled.
Doranor は引き続きエリカを補佐し、
Delano, continue to aid Erika
その進捗を私に報告しなさい。
and report on her progress to me.
良いです。
As you wi- Yeah, someone doesn't sound very happy about that.
ところで、ラムダはどこ？
It's a good question. By the way, where's Lambda?
あちらにおられます。
Oh, she is over there. Oh, nothing different? From the guest seating on the second floor, she pointed downwards. Oh no. Yeah, from the guest seating on the second floor, she pointed downwards. Lambda Delta could be seen on the seat beneath Battler, who hung there, dead and pierced by the red long sword. It's hopeless.
後ろ宮バトラか。
Ushinomiya Batora,
面白い男だったわ。
you are an interesting
そ
guy.
してもっと面白くなれたかもしれないのに。残念ね。
I know. And you might have become even more interesting, but too bad.
見事な死に様じゃない。
To be fair, it is instant, I see that. What a wonderful way to die.
エリカ、
Erika.
このバトラの亡骸は屋敷の大広間に飾るといいわ。
Oh my god, you can hang Batora's corpse in the mansion reception hall.
次に私がこのかけらに訪れるときは、私をその前で迎えなさい。
Jesus fucking Christ. Isn't it interesting that this just really, it really is just as if, you know, totally traditional or maybe even like, you know, Roman-like values, you know, just seeing blood and remains and, you know, guts and parts of the body of the deceased lifeless is a sign of honor. It's a sign of the fact that you have won. It's so fucking twisted and horrible and fucked up. Yeah, the next time I come to visit this fragment, welcome me in front of
かしこま
it.
りました。我が主。
Certainly, my master.
愚かなる男の姿を永遠に主の勝利の記念碑といたします。
I'll make that foolish man an eternal monument to my master's victory.
それは素敵ね。洒落てるわ。
Jesus, you have bad taste. That sounds really wonderful. Really tasteful.
食いで塗り固めて美しい純白の石像にするといい。
Jesus Christ, maybe you can coat him with... Wouldn't it stink a little bit of fish? Maybe you can coat him with plaster and make a beautiful white statue.
可愛らしくデコなんかもしてくれちゃったら最高ね。
Why are you so innocent? And yet you are literally going to look at a dead corpse. Oh my god, and it would be wonderful if you decorated him all cute.
はい、ラムダデルタ卿。
Isn't it just so funny that these people are like children and yet at the same time they're doing things of this severity? Yes, Lady Lambda
ご期
Delta.
待に添えるよう努力します。
I will strive to answer to your
おめ
expectations.
でとう、魔女就任。
Yeah, congratulations. I can't believe that. I really do wonder what's actually going to happen now as a result of that. Congratulations on becoming a witch.
一時的なものであれ、私はあなたを友人として迎えるわ。
Though it will just be for a while, I'll welcome you as a friend. Erika was so overcome with emotion that tears came to her eyes. Yeah. Oh yeah, fair, yeah. Because for a piece, no greater pleasure exists than having your work acknowledged by your master. Fair, yeah.
最後にはベアとも剥製にしてやりたいわ。
Oh god, in the end I'd like to have Beatos
そ
stuff
して大
too.
広間に高々と飾ってやるの。
I'll decorate the reception hall with her. Oh yes, oh my, you are absurd. Galaxy Express.
人間狩りの伯爵よ。
The one that isn't on night on the... I don't get the reference. What is the Galaxy Express? Deviant art. 999 anime. Let's see if we can... I don't know, I'm too scared of spoilers, I can't search it. Why the interruption though? Why is there any form of tension necessary? Excitement? Who knows? Oh, one isn't night on the...
私、
Oh, I'm surprised. I thought that could potentially be indicative of some change, you know.
魔女じゃなかった頃にあれを読んで、
Oh, I read that back when I wasn't a
永
witch.
遠の命を得た人間ってどうしてここまで残忍になれるんだろうって。
Right. Yeah, it is interesting that, you know, I read that back when I wasn't a witch. God, so that must have been a long time ago. Jesus Christ. I always thought that I always thought it strange that humans who obtained eternal life would become so cruel.
不思議に思ったことがあるわ。
At that time,
あの時の私は正直
God,
共
now
感
you
できなかっ
can.
た。
Yeah, at that time, honestly, I couldn't relate.
魔女になって1000年を生きてよくわかるわ。
After becoming a witch and living 1,000 years, I fully
あれ
understand
の筆
it.
者は本当の意味で私たちの残酷さをよく理解していたのよ。
That is interesting. That writer could understand our cruelty really well in the truest sense.
次はどこへ行く？
Where will you go
ど
next?
うせ旅立ちはお互い背中を向けてでしょ？
Yeah, I do wonder what's actually going to happen in continuation of the game board. I bet we'll say farewell with our backs turned,
あな
right?
たに退屈をしたくないからよ。
It's because I don't want to let you get bored.
ありがとう、ベルン。で
Thanks, Burn.
も私はきっと100を数えたらまたあなたを探し始めるわよ。
But you can be sure I'll count to 100 and then start searching for you again.
退屈させない子ね。
You really don't let a person get bored.
だから好きよ。愛してるわ。
What? That's why I like you. Love you. Seriously?
またどこかで会いましょ
Damn. Let's meet again somewhere.
う。もっとも100年先か1000年先か
Yeah,
未
that
来
is
ね
interesting.
再会しないかもわからないけれど。
An absurd brutality. Wow. God, however, we may not be reunited for another 100 or 1,000 years, if ever.
大丈夫よ。
God, that's okay.
愛し合う二人に かけらの海は狭いわ。
The sea of fragments is tiny to a bear who love each other.
第三の男
The third man.
天井桟敷だってば。
No children about paradise, of course.
あの星空のように輝く無数のかけらを
If you could escape the poison of just a single evening's worth of boredom.
一つ砕くたびに一晩は退屈の毒から解放されると分かったら
Each time you smash one of those countless fragments that glitter like a starry
お前
night.
だって星の数を数えてみたくなる
Even you have won a countless stars in the
Umai, umai.
sky. God, isn't that absurd that you basically smash a fragment and then you can actually see the stars that remain from the fragment? And I suppose you could link that to some sort of symbolic thing that's saying, you know, stars could potentially indicate good fates, good potential. You know, they have loads and loads of potential, and what you do because of the fact that you're bored and you just want to prevent your boredom from really, really making you go absolutely mad, you smash it and then you prevent everything in that world from potentially happening. So you basically just destroy an entire world just because of the fact that you're bored. I mean, that is how much power these people have. It's absurd. Yeah, the Voyager Witches travel across the countless glittering futures of possibility. Yeah, seriously, yeah, and gobble them up, trying to escape their illness called boredom for as long as they can. Isn't it absurd? Yeah. The tiny fragment created by the human known as Beatrice. Oh, that's interesting. So it's not worlds, but it's worlds not for every single human being, but worlds as an individual sense. Yeah, the tiny fragment created by the human known as Beatrice. Yeah, seriously, yeah, had now been gobbled up by the two witches and had lost its glitter. I see that, yeah. Yeah, the two who had earlier called themselves rivals in front of Berto. Oh my god, I know. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Now stop that charade. And laugh together, playfully. Yeah, easily. Yeah. Erika.
新しきこのかけらの支配者
Yeah, new ruler of this
あなたが真
fragment.
実を紡ぎこの世界の終焉までの物語を描きなさい
Weave the truth and create the tale that leads up to this world's demise.
次は第6のゲームだっけ
The next was the 6th game, right? That is actually really interesting. So the next tale is going to be created by Erika, though. Genuinely, that is the worst.
はい第6のゲームです
Yes, it's the 6th game.
エピソード6はなんてタイトルにするかあなたが決めなさい
Decide the title for episode 6
も
yourself.
はやこの物語の紡ぎ手でありマスターであるのはあなたなのだから
After all, you're already the spinner of this tale as well as the
ありが
master.
とうございます
Thank you very much.
実はもう決めてあります
Actually, I've already decided on one.
あらもうなの
Oh, already?
なら聞かせてちょうだい
Then let me hear it.
なんてタイトルなの
What kind of title is it?
はい
Yes.
エピソード6本当は
Fair.
お教えします
I love that this is just Yukishi's thoughts. I really like to leave you hanging for a bit, but I'll tell you.
何よ、もったいぶらずに教えなさいよ。
Damn! Come on, stop being a smart ass and tell that's a bit of a cold insult. Fucking hell.
新米魔女のくせに先輩じらすとかってありえないわ。
Fair enough, a newbie witch like you shouldn't be teasing your seniors.
エピソード6チェックメイト・オブ・ザ・ゴールデン・ウィッチ。
Oh, that is interesting. That's not what episode 6 is called. Wait, let me just fully check this. It's Dawn of the Golden Witch, isn't it? Wait, I've just got to fully check this. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Ooh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Ooh. That's a cool little achievement that I got there. Yeah. Whatever this is going to change something. This is gonna... No, I'm sorry, but this is gonna change everything. Genuinely, I believe fully that this is gonna change the entirety of the story. Episode 6 is not called Checkmate of the Golden Witch. And if I'm gonna be honest, Checkmate of the Golden Witch sounds shit. Edika, you need better names. Lambda had a good name, but... Isn't it ironic that Lambda's name of the game board was decided before it had even happened, and yet everything had gone so perfectly that it had actually happened? It had actually been the case. Now, it is really interesting. So, you know, Twilight and Dawn, they are really quite similar. I do wonder what's actually going to happen regarding Dawn of the Golden Witch. I really do wonder if, you know, the most significant events are going to happen in Dawn. And maybe that's going to be the most significant time of the story, and maybe, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. There are so many things that we don't know that, obviously, I really, really want to find out in episode 5. And, yeah, whatever it is, it's going to change everything. So, yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed today. Obviously, a real cool down episode from yesterday. We played so long yesterday, so yeah, it's only deserving to have something that's not nearly as long. So, yeah, that was really quite fun today. It was just, you know, obviously really interesting seeing Burn's complete cruelty. It really was. And Edika's cruelty as well, and just how they are so happy, you know, finally seeing the portrait as well. That was pretty cool. And, you know, just seeing the ridiculous amount of, you know, oh god, just horrible thoughts and intents they have to Beatrice's game. It is just really interesting. It's kind of, it just reminds me of any sort of political like thing. All they do is they make it so that they've invaded something, they have more power, they've completely won, so as a result they just tear down any parts of anything other people have tried to build up as if they're nothing really, because now they have the power and the ability to actually deny their illusions. And it is going to be really interesting to see how this actually plays out. And yeah, obviously I really, really want to know, why did Battler say it's useless? What is going to happen to him? He has already had the potential. He's done the denial for Keensaw, so I believe he may actually be able to save this game board. I don't know though, but I feel like, judging by the fact that episode 6 is not called Checkmate of the Golden Witch, I think that that may be very likely. But at the same time, that would determine that Battler gets so much of a strong defeat, strong win, that he actually is able... Okay, this is... Oh my god. He may actually be able to become, like, you know, the person who actually determines everything regarding the game. That is weird. I'm excited for tomorrow. I really fucking am. Wow. Oh my god. This is going to be cool. This really, really is. God, after seeing the most brutal tale with Natsuhi, it is really interesting with Natsuhi as well. Yeah. Firstly, the debate about whether she did deserve it or not. Secondly, I think that the baby was a delusion and that the baby was never there, and she, in reality, it just doesn't fully make sense. So I don't really get what happened with the baby whatsoever, because, you know, though Natsuhi had seen the... No, I think she imagined the baby actually being carried with the servant, but then the baby was just transported somewhere else when it was probably realised that, I don't know, Natsuhi had thought it was dead, so she wasn't actually caring for it, and, you know, it was just neglected there. Maybe somebody realised that, you know, the baby can't stay there, because if it does, then, it's just going to have a horrible life, so was put up for adoption. Who knows? It's really hard to tell, but I feel like the baby was put up for adoption, and then maybe it was Battler. But the only thing that doesn't add up is Battler is 18, and that baby was 19. But maybe it could have been a fake birth certificate. It doesn't necessarily prove it. I don't know. But, yeah, it's going to be really, really fun. Whatever it is, I feel like this story is really going to unfold in these last 2 episodes. Oh my god, I just want to... I'll tell you what. I really want to hear Resurrected Replayer in this game again. If they have such a good soundtrack, and they only use it for, like, a short amount of scenes when Battler comes back in... you know, episode 5, I'm sorry, but that is just going to piss me off. So I really, really hope that, you know, we see more Resurrected Replayer tomorrow. Yeah, man, I'm so excited to see how this is going to end. So, yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and, you know, see you next time.